5 common distortion mistakes that kill your voice. If you're doing any of these, stop right now. Now, I've been singing for a really long time. I started singing in 1999. I started teaching in 2003. I sing pretty much all the contemporary styles, and especially rock and punk. I've been in the punk scene for most of my all of my adult life, really. And I see lots of punk and rock and metal singers doing this, even though all of these things that I'm going to share with you, even if they've been singing for a really long time. So if you find that any of these are practices that you have ingrained in your habits, I urge you to stop, because you will, if you haven't already, get some vocal damage. Now, if you like that raspy sound, there are ways to add that raspy sound without ruining your voice, because you don't want to end up with no voice whatsoever. You don't want to end up with a voice that that can hardly be understood when you're speaking. You want to be able to sing clean and speak clearly when you're not singing with distortion, and you want to be able to have longevity so that you can sing healthily to the end of your career, not when you have to stop because your voice has stopped working. The first common mistake with vocal distortion is using the clearing your throat technique. That's not it is a technique, it's just a really bad technique. So that kind of that's not really it. I'm kind of adding proper distortion there. So that kind of that's hurt my voice, right? That's hurt my throat. If you have a sore throat after you use distortion, you're doing it wrong. And if you follow these guides, these voice coaches, some of them aren't even voice coaches, they're making videos and sticking them up all over the internet and showing you how to use distortion using this kind of clearing your throat technique, you're going to have problems, okay? There are no two ways about it. Stop doing that right now. I have a video that shows you how to use distortion safely that won't kill your throat, and it's going to come up somewhere around here if I remember to put it in. I will also put it in the description. The second common vocal distortion technique that is killing your voice is ignoring basic vocal techniques. I see so many singers that have no basic vocal technique. They have never been to a vocal coach. Half of them haven't even bothered to watch a video like this or any other kind of tutorial. They're free. Just share them with your friends who aren't using them, right? If they don't want to pay for voice coaching, they don't have to. You can use these kinds of videos or vocal tutorial videos, and they're not even bothering to find out how to use their voices for the most basic things like hitting a high note or using projection. Projection isn't basic, but you know what I mean. If you're not even bothering to use the right basic vocal technique, how are you going to be able to use an advanced technique like distortion? You've got to look after your voice properly. So use the foundations of vocal technique that keep your voice healthy. And even if you don't want to learn how to use distortion properly because you can't be bothered, or because you haven't got the time or the money, you'll find a way. At the very least, learn basic vocal techniques. Number 3, so many people do this, shouting to hit the high notes. It's really easy to believe that projection is the same as shouting, and it isn't. If you go to a gig and you find that you're singing along really loudly, or you're shouting, yay, shouting, clapping and cheering, and the next day you have a sore throat, that's because you've been shouting. This doesn't really happen to me, because when I shout, I actually use a belting technique, and there are different types of belting techniques. Now, if you are singing rock or soul or gospel, there's lots of projection in those styles of singing, in those styles of music, in those styles of singing. They're very passionate. And if you're shouting and not using the right technique, that's going to hurt your voice anyway. And you're not going to have the right positioning and the right placement to be able to then add distortion in a safe way. So you have to have the right technique, and you have to be able to add distortion in a safe way that's not going to hurt your voice. But if you don't have the right technique in the first place, just like ignoring basic vocal technique, but actually when it comes to projection, that isn't basic, that is an advanced technique. If you're shouting to hit the notes, it's going to be pretty much impossible. Even if you try to then use the right techniques over the shouting, it's going to be pretty much impossible to do that in a safe way that doesn't hurt your voice. Now, if this is helping you, if you're enjoying this video, then remember to hit the like button, hit subscribe. I've got lots of videos on vocal technique, on healthy vocals, on healthy singing, on distortion and different types of distortion, on vocal projection, belting, and different styles as well. I've got tutorials on singing rock, jazz, soul, indie, how to rap properly without sounding ridiculous, musical theatre, and pop as well. So there are lots of different vocal tutorials and lots of warm-ups for you on this channel. So I look forward to seeing you in other videos. Coming back to common vocal distortion mistakes. Number 4, not warming up. I don't know how many times I need to say this. You must warm up before you sing. If you're with your mates and and you're enjoying yourself, you don't need to go off and do a 20-minute warm up. You got to have fun, you got to live. But if you're doing a proper practice, and especially if you're performing, you've got to go and warm up first. So the longer your performance, you can do a slightly shorter warm-up. So if you're performing for more than an hour, you might be able to get away with a 15-minute warm-up. I did a festival this year, so this year being 2025, I played all 4 days of the festival, and we played for 2 hours every day. I was the backing vocalist in that situation. The lead singer in that particular band hasn't had any vocal coaching. Not even from me. Is he crazy? And by the end of day 2, I had to put him on vocal rest because even speaking was hurting. And so I put him on vocal rest. And to be honest with you, within an hour, he was able to speak again without being in pain. But as the days went on, by day 4, even I was fatigued, okay? Your voice does get fatigued. I was speaking to a singer called Millie Mander. She's an amazing singer. I think her sets at festivals are about 40 minutes. I've seen her at her own gigs, her own club gigs, and she sings for about an hour. And when she's on tour, she told me that when she's on tour, she doesn't do more than 4 days in a row. And she has brilliant vocal technique because your voice does get tired. Athletes need rest days. And if you're a professional singer, or if you're someone who sings a lot, you are a vocal athlete. Your voice needs rest, and you must warm up, and at the end you must cool down. Athletes warm up before they play, run, swim, cycle, and they cool down and they stretch afterwards. So if you're doing a lot of belting and certainly a lot of distortion, not warming up and then not cooling down your voice at the end of the session is going to harm your voice, and eventually you'll find that it's really difficult to sing and even to speak. Common vocal distortion mistake number 5. This is very common. I see this a lot. Going to a classical singing teacher to learn how to sing rock and metal. Now, I completely understand why you might do that. Classical singing, it's the traditional way of singing, right? It's the traditional trained way of singing, and it's a great way to get basic vocal technique, to learn how to support your voice properly, to learn proper breath control, to learn proper vocal control, how to hit high notes safely in the classical way. It's a great way to start. And there are always exceptions, but most classical teachers aren't rock singers, and they're certainly not punk and metal singers, most of them. You'll find a couple, and I'm sure there's going to be someone in the comments who says, well, actually, I went to a classical singing teacher and they taught me how to sing metal. Great. And I'm sure that they were really good at what they do. But most classical teachers are specialize in classical singing because the classical way of singing, I did classical music for 3 years. I did classical singing for 3 years, so I know what I'm talking about. Classical singing is very different to contemporary singing, and certainly very different to rock, metal, punk, and all of the subgenres. So if you go to a classical teacher for your basic, for your foundational technique, I think that's a great way to start. If they don't know, and if they haven't ever sung rock music, I wouldn't recommend that you try to learn to sing rock from them unless you're singing rock music in a classical way. So people like Evanescence, I can't think of any others right now, but that kind of the kind of classical singing with rock music behind it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this forward placement, that type of stuff. Most classical teachers aren't able to, and probably wouldn't even want to teach that. Now, the voice coaches that I check in with myself, one's based in LA and one's based in Las Vegas, they have been trained in speech level singing, and they're brilliant at what they do, but even they don't teach distortion, okay? So go to the right vocal coach who uses vocal distortion in their own practice, and B, knows how to teach it in a safe way so that you can use it without killing your voice. If you'd like to learn safe vocal distortion, then I recommend going to the video that's going to pop up somewhere around here. And if you've liked this and you haven't yet subscribed, then I recommend that you do click that subscribe button. If you'd like to become a member, click the join button. You can also become a member of my WhatsApp group when you become a member of the green room, I believe it's called. So click that there, join my private WhatsApp group. You can ask me anything, any day of the week, and I will respond to you, usually the same day, usually within a couple of hours actually. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Share this with someone else who is trying to do vocal distortion and maybe getting it wrong, maybe hurting their voice. I'll see you soon. Stay hydrated. Ciao.